Hello everyone, this is Stranger Hans here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing something pretty neat, which is talking about Spirit Halloween's 2025 lineup. I feel like there's a lot we can expect from them this year, and there's so much that can be done, especially with the tech they have now. I'll probably be completely wrong on some of these, but hey, it's always fun to speculate on what could be. So first we have the Exterminator. As you can tell, this is quite similar to the one that Techie made for Party City back in 2021. However, now he is a mutated humanoid bug. The whole story behind this guy might be that he was transformed into what he is now, due to some radioactive materials getting in his system, or something like that. But anyways, now he is the one to do the exterminating, and he shoots out a green fog from his gun. He'll probably be sold for around $230, and be around 6 foot flat, I would say. It's not the most original of prop ideas, I know, but I feel like Spirit could easily do something like this, and it'd be cool to see as well. His animation is pretty simple too, mostly just side-to-side turning, but he could even have moving mandibles like Wanda Webworth. Next, we have our first licensed prop prediction. This is the 4.2-foot Megan animatronic from Blumhouse as well, Megan Movie, which is a horror film from 2023. This is a prop I can see happening due to some merch leaking that is licensed after the Megan franchise, and I feel like Spirit would release a prop of her, especially in time for the second movie, which is coming out later this year. This prop would be based off her appearance in the first film. What's cool about this animatronic of her is that she could have interchangeable heads, kind of like Sam from 2019. For her animation, I imagine her having side-to-side turning, a slashing arm mechanism, and maybe even some servo eyes in both heads along with mouth movements. That would probably make her pretty expensive though, so I can see her being around $280 at the very least. But hopefully they don't go over that price point if they do end up making a prop of her. The other prop we've got is one that I'm very hyped for, and one I hope we could see at Spirit this year. This is the 6.5-foot tall Freddy Fazbear animatronic, based off his appearance in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. With all the demands surrounding Spirit making Five Nights at Freddy's props, and also the success of the first movie, along with the soon-to-be-released sequel coming out later this year, I think it would be a huge missed opportunity if Spirit did make a prop of him. I feel like it would be an amazing seller, and not only appeal to haunters, but even the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom, which is very massive, and could even bring more attention to Spirit for years to come. I would imagine him being pricier, maybe around $350 to $400, but that's to be expected with a character as big as him, and the amount of material that would be needed to make him. Now for animations, they can really do anything, but I'd imagine him having mouth movements, a servo-controlled head, side-to-side turning eyes, a turning waist, and maybe even arm movement as well. But I think that this prop could be a huge success, but I also think that Spirit would have to be extra careful to make sure that they don't mess up on him, and make something that's not a worthy representation of the character. Because, I mean, as it is, the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom is very passionate, and to mess up on one little detail could cause a lot of complaints, so it's important that they stay vigilant and make sure that they don't screw it up or anything, you know? And next we've got Sewer Rats. This is one prop that I'm really excited for since I was already a huge fan of Sewer Varmint from 2020, but I feel like this would be that animatronic but on steroids. I imagine this prop almost being a reskin of the Howling Werewolf from 2016, with a similar build and maybe even animation as well. I could see him being around 4 to 5 feet in height because of that. He'd have a side-to-side turning head, mouth movements, a moving tail, and maybe even head tilts like Howling Werewolf, but instead of howling, he'd be making some sort of screeching sounds. This dude would probably be around $300 just due to his overall bulk and the amount of animation he has, but I'd say it's a fair deal for what you get. Now we're on to another licensed prop for this year, which is Volok from the Conjuring franchise, aka The Nun. This is a prop that's been circulating around places like the Spirit Halloween wiki, but apparently Spirit was supposed to release a prop of The Nun back in 2024, but they cancelled it due to unknown reasons. I'm really not too sure why, but now it seems like she'll probably be released this year, which is cool. According to Spirit Wiki, she'd probably be around 6.5 feet tall, which is pretty big, and according to them, her price is probably going to be around $300. That makes me think that she'll have something really cool when it comes to animation, so that's why I picture her having something kind of like a jump scare. She'd pretty much be a reskin of M-Line with a scissor mech, allowing her to shoot out. According to rumors, she's supposed to have something like that, and if that's true, then that would be awesome. I think she'd be a really good scare, and I hope that Spirit puts her in the ISC this year because I feel like she'd get a lot of good reactions. Next we've got Backbend Bernadettes, a very disturbing looking prop as you can tell. There have been leaks about this prop, but the most that we know of her is her name. Just judging off her info in the Spirit Wiki, it looks like she's made by Techie, which means that she might have an animation similar to Broken Spine Girl that they made for Spirit back in 2014. That's just what I imagine going off of the name itself really, but still. I could see her being around 5.5 feet tall in height, but what would be even cooler is if they made her Darling Dolly sized, so like, 7 feet tall or something. Like, imagine if they made her body look really contorted and stretched, almost like she's possessed or something. That would be insane. That would be really disturbing too, and I feel like it would make her even more unsettling. Anyways, for animation, I imagine her using a mech that's almost like a reimagining of Broken Spine Girls. Maybe instead of a steady bend, she could bend backwards really quickly, dragging her arms on the ground to make it even more terrifying. As for other animations, I could see her maybe having a head turn, or maybe even mouth movements. But I really don't know, since they might also remove those two features just because the mechs might weigh down the upper body even more, and make the back bending mech even more likely to break. You know, Broken Spine Girl is a good example of that. Either way though, I'm so hyped to see how she'll turn out. Oh, and for a price, she'd probably be around $350, which is, I know, pretty expensive, but then again, it makes sense for the stature of this prop since, again, she might be pretty big, but also just how much is going into her animation. Finally, and last but not least, we have the sinister Straw Man. Now this is a prop that I've been interested in ever since I saw its name pop up, but this is supposed to be a reskin of Mr. Dark. Just off of that alone, we can tell what he's gonna do, which is unfold and pop up to a height of around maybe 8 to even 9 feet in height. I feel like his hat would give him a boost in height alone though, but I'd imagine him having a distorted, monstrous face just judging by the sinister part of his name. It's kinda hard to picture what his clothing could look like, but I guess something simple like brown cloth or maybe burlap draped over. He might also have some patches on his clothing. I can imagine him being around the same price as the other Mr. Dark reskins like Hellspawn and Tallulah from last year, so maybe around $330. Either way, I think he has a lot of potential, and if Spirit pulls him off right, he could even be my favorite Mr. Dark reskin of all time. But hey, only time will tell. And those were some of my predictions for Spirit Halloween's 2025 lineup. I know it's not a lot, but I thought to share what I could come up with and draw up. I feel like a lot of these will be very inaccurate, but hey, I can dream, I guess. No, but anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and stay tuned for more spooky content through this upcoming Halloween season. Thank you for watching, and see you all later.